What's the deal, everybody? This is the Metaphor Mercenaries podcast. I'm Carl Lewis, aka Ellie Dub, and we're going to get right into it. So, I'm going to start out with the top five poetry slash quotes from Instagram of this week. Because what I've noticed is a lot of the best poetry and the best quotes that I read, they come from people who have no followers, they might only have 40 or 50 followers, but they're going to have 40 or 50 of the best poems or best quotes that you've ever heard of. A lot of the top quotes that I see that might have 10,000 likes or something like that, it's something simple. It's something like, he left, she cried. And it has 11,000 likes for that. So, I like to get into the more deeper quotes, the more thought-provoking type of stuff, because, that's the way that I write. And you can really tell that a lot of these people who are writing this stuff, they're certified metaphor mercenaries. So let's just get right into it. The first one comes from @Hannah Not Hillary, and her quote is, "And what is vanity but an illumination of depreciation hidden behind the paint and lies." Again, and what is vanity but an illumination of depreciation hidden behind the paint and lies? That was deep. That just like punches you in the chest when you really read that and you think about what she's saying in this quote. So what she's saying is, vanity is an illumination of depreciation, because, the way I interpret this is, she's saying that we're all just people, right? Every day you're getting older and older and older. So your body is depreciating. It's breaking down slowly every single day. So she's saying, vanity is something that's celebrated, but it's really just you covering up the depreciation of your own body. And that's powerful. That just really struck a chord with me when I read it. And then hidden behind the paint and lies. Well, vanity, it's just like she said, it's something that you're hiding. You're putting makeup over something that's damaged. It's like you're polishing a turd. You ever heard that term? So that was just amazing. Now, I picked two of her quotes because I saw both of these today, and everything she talks about on her profile is powerful. So you guys need to check her out. The next quote is, "In your eyes, I found a memory, though we had never met, a soul I've known in another life, not one I could forget." Wow. Just wow. So she's saying that this was someone who she didn't know, but she looked in their eyes and she felt like she knew them because of, the connection she felt. It was like this was a soul that she knew from another life. Like she felt that deep connection, and just powerful, powerful stuff. So shout out to her again. Bona fide metaphor mercenary right there. Let's get to the next one. This one comes from Marriage, Love, Dating. So you can check out this profile on Instagram as well. And they say, instead of ghosting, say this: "I had a nice time with you. The connection you and I have isn't the connection that I'm looking for. Take good care." Now that's pretty powerful right there. It's not really a poem, this is a quote, but, in our society, you hear so much about people getting ghosted. People are dating and people just stop talking to them out of nowhere. People flake on them. And this is something that's simple, but if people just applied this to their everyday life, be a much better place. I hate to say shit like that, but it's the truth. Because ghosting is real. Let's just be real about it. Ghosting is real. It happens all the time. I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but it's something that can really make you, it can put you down, put your vibrations down, makes you feel like shit. Just give that other person that respect that, hey, we went on a date, I took up some of your time, it didn't work out, so I'm moving on. Now, some people might say, oh, I don't do anything because sometimes people lash out. You try to tell people that you don't like them and, they cuss you out and this and that. Well, that's okay, but if you say this to them, I feel like even the people who are going to cuss you out, they can still appreciate that you actually told them something instead of just disappearing on them. Now, this next one comes from author Gautam. I hope I pronounced your name right, from the United Kingdom. Now, this quote says, "You gave me forever in a few seconds." You gave me a forever in a few seconds. Now, this next quote comes from author Gautam. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But he writes, "You gave me a forever in a few seconds." One sentence, but one powerful sentence. You gave me a forever in a few seconds. So what he's saying here is that he feels so, so much of a connection with this person. And he enjoys himself so much when he's around this person that just being with them for a few seconds felt like it was forever. Or he might also be saying, just within that few seconds, I knew that I wanted to be with you forever. Powerful, deep, powerful stuff. Like I said, some of the most unknown people will come up with the best quotes and the best poems, best short stories. So, that's what this podcast is all about. Putting these people on display, giving them the recognition that they deserve. Now, the next quote is from the Colossal Words out of India. People will call you their best friend and make efforts like strangers. People will call you their best friend and make efforts like strangers. Now, that's something I know we all can relate to, right? Everybody's had that homie or that homegirl where you just, you felt like they were your best friend and they would do anything for you. They got your back, they're your day one, A1, day one type of thing. And when something happened, when the shit really hit the fan, they were nowhere to be found. Or they might ask you for a whole bunch of favors, but when you ask them for something, it's, oh, no, I can't do it. Oh, no, I think just got way too much stuff to do today, man. I'm sorry. So, we've all been there, and that's something that, again, one sentence, just a simple quote, but so powerful. So that's it for today. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I apologize. That's not it for today. We're also going to get into how to make money writing poetry. So people always say, how can I make money doing this? Writing poetry, it just seems like I'm just doing it for fun. Well, yes, it is fun, but you can also make money doing this, believe it or not. We all know you can make money writing screenplays, but you can make money writing poetry and short stories, okay? I had a guy tell me a couple years ago, he looked at my Instagram and he said, nobody cares that you're a literary genius. Nobody cares about this kind of shit, man. Nobody reads anymore. They just want to watch twerking videos on TikTok, and they want to watch people falling and doing just mundane type of stuff, and it's just not true. There is poetry. There is a way to make money doing poetry. It is alive and well. People still do appreciate it. People still do read. So the first thing you can do, obviously, is create a book. if you can compile a book of all your best poetry and sell it, promote it, easy way to make money. I'm still working on that myself. Now, the other avenues that I've taken is you can make money submitting your poetry to different magazines and different websites. So I'll give you some examples. First one is Ruminate magazine. So Ruminate, it's a artistic type of magazine, and it's online. They accept submissions. They also run contests all the time. So they right now they even have they have a contest where you can win $1,500, and this is for an essay, short story, or memoir, 5,500 words or less. Entry fee is $20. Sounds pretty good to me. They also pay for poetry, so they don't really list how much you can make on their website, but you can submit to them. Another one is Poetry Magazine. So Poetry Magazine, they take submissions all the time. They'll pay up to $300 per poem. And you just submit you submit it to their email address. They review it. If they like it, they'll get featured. They also take video recordings of spoken word pieces, audio recordings of sound-based poems, and video recordings of mixed media pieces like poetry with dancing in it, visual poetry, graphic poetry, poems written in languages other than English even. So, that Poetry Magazine is big. Definitely check them out. Another one is Rattle. So Rattle, they publish unsolicited poetry and translations of poetry. They take submissions year-round, and it's always free. Contributors in print receive $200 per poem and a complimentary 1-year subscription to the magazine. Online contributors receive $100 per poem. Pretty simple. Now, a lot of these places, if you do get poetry published by them, they want you to submit unpublished poetry. If you've had poetry that you published in a book before, or if you've had it submitted somewhere else, you probably don't want to submit it there. They want it to be original. So, me personally, I've done this. I've submitted poetry to magazines, and I've been paid before. I also had something happen to where I had a guy who was in a band. I'm not going to name the band, but he paid me $300 for my poem. So the way it all worked was, he asked me. He said, "Hey, I really like your poems. Do you ever written songs?" And I said, not really. I've never written a song before. I don't know how it all fits with melodies and things like that. And he told me, he said, "Okay, listen, I'm going to give you this topic to write about. Go ahead, just write the poem out. I'll pay you for it. And then from there, I'll switch it around, change it around to fit the melody of my song." So there it was. So be creative, be open-minded. You can still make money doing poetry. It's not a lost art. People still do read. People still do like poetry. So keep all that in mind. Stay creative. Stay safe. And this is Metaphor Mercenaries. If you want to connect, you want to network, you want to bounce off ideas, or if you want to be on the podcast, hit me up. You can hit me up on Instagram at @LE_dub. You can send me an email, clws87@gmail.com. Let's connect. Like I said, let's network. I'm even trying to make networking events for poets. We can even do it through Zoom or Google Meets, however you guys want to do this. Hit me up.